Welcome back to Let's Play The Evil Within with me, Jerupitus. And we have awakened in a hospital room, but the first thing we're going to do is grab this thing right in front of us. Newspaper article, bodies found. Bodies found in Lakeside town. Cause of death remains a mystery. More than a dozen mutilated bodies found in village of Elk River. Several residents unaccounted for. And the other thing we're going to do is grab this. What that is green gel. That's going to be our sort of currency in the game, and we can use that to buy upgrades and things like that.
Hello? Anybody there?
Are we awake?
Is everyone else all right? The city?
Whatever are you talking about? You are the only soul here. Right now.
And where we are is called Safe Haven. This is going to be the sort of safe room main hub of the game.
A hospital?
This place is necessary for you. You're always welcome here.
I've been hospitalized?
I'm afraid I cannot answer that. Please, sign in here. Without signing in, there is no way to ensure your future memories.
And so that's going to be the save system, which is signing into the hospital. But we're not going to need to do that right now. I don't expect to have any trouble at all.
This way, please.
And I think they do a very good job, despite the fact that this place is actually your safe room and actually your main hub. They do a very good job of making it not feel safe. It still feels very unsettling.
Smells like medicine.
You are all right. Please, relax. Please, have a seat.
And so in classic video game fashion, if you look around behind the chair, we're going to find our first map fragment. Those are going to all sort of be put together to form a giant map. There are going to be 15 of them, and we are going to find them all.
What the hell?
You mustn't fight it. This is for your own good.
No. Stop.
And so this sort of torture-looking contraption is actually our upgrade chair, and we have to spend our first 100 green gel that we found in order to unlock it. So let's go ahead and do it.
There now. You see? All better.
Lady, am I going crazy? Huh?
Now what makes you say that? I'll be waiting.
Shit. What the hell is going on? Where am I?
And so right away you'll notice at the top left, that's our life bar.
Where are you?
And it recovered just slightly. So, and these are syringes, they are healing items, and we're going to talk about that in just a sec. But if you end up with your health, let's pull it up. It'll be top left there. If it falls below that line, if you stand still, it will recover to there. And since we just found this syringe, we may as well use it. Which is very nice, and I will say this, you will probably spend most of the game at that bottom level of health for lots of reasons that we'll get into when it kind of happens naturally. For now, we're just going to follow this blood trail because all of our friends seem to be gone. And that transition there, this is going to teach us about melee attacks. Melee attacks are used to break barrels. You cannot use them on enemies. Well, so you can, but it is pretty much worthless to do. You could melee an enemy 10 or 15 times and not kill it. It is pretty much worthless there. So you pretty much just use it to break open boxes, to find ammo drops and green gel and things like that. But what I was going to say about that transition is I think it's really well done that you end up being in the burning ambulance that flew off the cliff. This game really likes to teleport you around, and some of them are... I have some criticisms of, but we'll talk about that when it happens.
Hey!
And of course, we're thinking, oh, look at that up ahead of us. Let's go check that out.
Connolly?
And this tutorial enemy is just going to come flying at us. And here we're going to get a taste of how worthless the pistol is. It takes 3 headshots
My God, Connolly.
to drop a basic enemy. I like to call it the pea shooter. It's less a weapon and more of a tool, if that makes sense. What you'd really rather do with it is down enemies. But we'll see why in just a minute here. The main takeaway there is that even the basic enemies in this game are incredibly difficult to kill. Let's make sure we grab this green gel just over here.
Hurts! Hurts! Whoa. Were you warning me about this? You are Leslie, right? I'm a police officer. Maybe I should help you.
Should help you.
Shit. How am I gonna get you to a hospital?
Hospital. 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 Hospital!
What the fuck?
The way he says what the fuck there just gets me. So, traps are things you can disarm or use against enemies, and when you disarm them, you get these. These are trap parts. They are needed to craft bolts for the Agony crossbow. We don't have that yet, but we will fairly shortly. So, what traps end up being is either... they're not always a free kill, but they're a way to down enemies at the very least, but what they are is, if you get the trap parts, they're kind of ammo drops. And so this is going to teach us how to sprint. And you'll notice when we sprint there, that yellow bar pops up. That's our stamina bar. So you cannot sprint for very long at all. The best way to describe sprinting in this game is just by a sudden change of direction to avoid when an enemy goes into an attack animation. It's not really going to be your base movement speed at all. And so these are matches. You can approach a fallen enemy and press B to burn them, destroying them completely. Burning consumes 1 match. If the same enemies are close enough, they can all be burned with 1 match. Other things besides corpses and enemies can also be burned. Now, all of that is true, and a good technique to use is waiting until an enemy approaches you, and then striking a match, burning something on the ground or something nearby, and therefore setting them on fire and killing them with 1 match. Now, that all sounds great. The problem is that it kind of only works when it wants to. Very frequently, you will strike the match and burn something, and the enemy just won't catch fire. And then they're right in your face because you have to let them get close to do that, and then your problems have just multiplied. That being said, matches are arguably your most powerful weapon because they're one of the only things that really reliably kills enemies dead. Now let's see here. 1200 green gel, okay. That frightened look he does at the ceiling reminds me so much of Ash from Evil Dead. It's so good. So we're at 1500 green gel. Let's grab this document here. Journal of Sebastian Castellanos, November 2004. Finally got my gold badge. Detective Sebastian Castellanos. I like the sound of that. Seems a long time coming, but they say that I'm one of the fastest ever to rise through the ranks. Can't wait to get started. I know that I can do more good as a detective than I ever could as a beat cop. Plus, I don't have to wear that damned uniform anymore. The pay bump doesn't hurt either. KCPD needs all the help they can get. There's a seemingly disproportionate amount of crime these days. Crimson City is my home, and it's my job to protect it.
Shit.
And now the mirror is going to break, and by holding A, we get transported back to safe haven. And this is the way you, most of the time, get in and out of your safe room.
What the? Back here again. I must be losing it. I don't know if that was a bad dream, or this is.
Whatever is the matter?
Now, when you come here, one of the main things to always check is the newsstand. Serial killer on the loose. Victims had surgery performed on them. Police believe slaying's the work of a serial killer. Missing persons in several local communities. And then right behind us is going to be the missing persons board. And that's Leslie Withers, who we've met already, which is kind of interesting. Psychiatric patient Leslie Withers disappeared from a locked room at Beacon Mental Hospital. And now we're going to hit the chair. And I think this game does a little bit of a bad job of teaching you how to play it. There are a lot of hidden mechanics and a lot of things that are not intuitive. And one of the main things is that matches are one of your best weapons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump up our stock right away to 10. Syringes, for the most part, you end up taking so much incidental damage. At least I do, because I'm not super pro at this game or anything. You don't really end up needing more stock of those, so I don't really worry about that. I end up almost never using grenades, and handgun ammunition you don't really find that much of. Although if you're being very conservative with how you spend your bullets, you should be able to find more than you end up wanting, so we will probably increase the stock there at some point. And I would say the most important things to do, damage doesn't really matter with your handgun, because downing enemies and then burning them with a match is the best way to deal with them. Shooting them in the head, even if you have the damage bumped up to 200%, usually takes more bullets than you would like. So the main thing that you want is the critical hit chance. It goes from 0 to 10%, and believe me, 10% is a lot more than 0. And that's kind of the thing that I prioritize for guns a lot. Other than that, damage matters on different guns, but we'll see that when we get there. For now, we just want to hold as many matches as we possibly can, because I would way rather be out of bullets than out of matches. But we'll talk a little bit more about the hidden mechanics as they come up here. I just want to say that this game reminds me very much of really old school games, like Nintendo games. And I'll explain why in just a moment. Leslie's going to go running through there, and this guy's going to come behind and pound on the door. And this is the sneak kill mechanic. You creep up behind, press A, and you get to stab him in the brain. Now that's very good because that requires 0 bullets, which is very nice. The thing about that, though, is that they never tell you that you can do a sneak kill in other situations. Contextual actions. That's another thing that kind of works whenever it wants to. It often will do something that you didn't want it to do, or it just doesn't seem to want to work. So those can be a little bit frustrating as well. But what I was getting at when I was saying that this game reminds me a little bit of old school Nintendo games is that it's one of those games where the game really comes together when you begin to understand all the mechanics, but before then, it ends up feeling unnecessarily difficult. That's just what I'll say. What I just punched there was a goddess statue. Goddess statues have locker keys inside them. We can't use that for now, but we are going to find all of those. There are 45 in total, and that is a lot.
Hey, are you guys from around here? I don't know where...
Can't go on.
And we'll notice there that the lighthouse showed its light on him, and then he transformed into a monster. That's very interesting. Now we'll see if we can get him to come all the way over here. And then hopefully he's going to patrol away. You need him to kind of come closer to you in order to get the sneak kill, because they really like to patrol away, and if they're too far away, they're going to turn around right on you. Now, the hidden mechanic that I wanted to talk about is this one. I'm going to try to demonstrate it, but I may not succeed. Either way, we'll talk about it. We're going to have this guy spot me, and I'm going to try to hit him in the face with the bottle. And I didn't get it. And he kicked me. So we'll try to knock him down instead, and then we'll burn him. But what I was attempting to do there is if you hit an enemy in the face with a bottle, they will be stunned. When they're stunned, you can run up on them, and then you have to crouch, and then you will get a sneak kill prompt. I don't know why they would choose to lock that behind crouching first. Why can't I just run up and press A? But that's the way it works. And knowing that is very helpful. The game never tells you that. Like, why would you run up to an enemy and then crouch right in his face? It makes no sense, but that is how it works, so that's what we're going to have to deal with. Let's grab this document here. Lakeside town note. When did they put a lighthouse on the lake? Has it always been there? That circling light passes over me, passes through me. I feel like it takes something away each time. I can't remember what it was, though. So creepy. Let's check out in this house. More matches, love that. And so the exploration aspect of this game, I realize, is not going to be super entertaining, but you do really want to comb over every single inch of this game. It reminds me a lot of Resident Evil 4 in that way, where I guarantee no matter how many times you play this game, if you are really thorough, you'll probably find something new that you never found before. Ooh, I think maybe this is a spot where I can show another hidden mechanic, and that is that if you run towards an edge, you'll do a kind of a flying leap off it. Perhaps not there. Too bad. Maybe this corner? See if we can get it to happen here. Nope, not yet. Okay. Let's head over this way, out on this pier to look at the lighthouse.
I feel like I'm being pulled just looking at it.
Well, we certainly don't want that light to pass over us. It turned that other guy into a monster, so... Oh, I guess one thing I didn't show about the sprint mechanic is check this out. Let's just do it right now. If you're not paying attention and you run out of sprint, this happens. And you can't move during this animation. And if there are enemies on top of you when that happens, you're dead. So the sprint is just a tool, sort of like your handgun, where it's not something you get to do all the time. It's just a way of dealing with enemies. Now we're going to try to sneak kill this guy. You know what? Let's try the bottle thing again. Come here, buddy. See if I can hit it. Missed him. It is very, very difficult to do. So now we're going to have to spend a bullet in a match. I wanted to spend fewer bullets than that, but here we go. The point is being out of bullets really doesn't matter. You have a lot of other tools at your disposal. And you're really frequently out of handgun bullets, at least I am. Frequently enough where it's really not a major concern. But I am going to need to sneak kill this guy up here. I think we'll go around this way. And he is going to drop a torch. And torches are nice because they are a one-hit kill. Let's go ahead and set our handgun. Unfortunately, you have to drop the torch to do that, but it's going to be just fine. And there's your one-hit kill. Now we're going to want to back up a little bit because there is a house a little bit of a ways back that I want to explore for sure. But I just kind of wanted to come up this way and deal with these guys. More matches, love it. And precisely one handgun bullet. Yeah, this is the way I want to go. And that guy's holding a torch too, and I want that because it's a one-hit kill. So with any luck, we'll be able to drop both of the enemies here with 0 bullets. You want to patrol that way? I am fine with that. How about a knife to the brain? And now with our one-hit kill torch in hand, we can move through this place without fear. Whoa. Do want to still be mindful of traps, though. Now, right over here is what I was looking for. Map fragment number 2. And then there's going to be a little hidden thing in here that I definitely want to find. Where did you get to? Right here. And he wants to get up, but down he goes. You can definitely do a lot of just sort of ring around the rosy stuff with enemies. They're actually fairly easy to avoid once you get good with the controls. But I like to kill them if I can. I just think it's a little bit more fun, a little more satisfying than just kind of running away from them the whole time. But now that we've got that map fragment and that key, we can move on. It's going to be a few bear traps right here. And I want those trap parts. I love my trap parts. Now, I'm pretty sure I got the one in here, but I may as well double check. I got a little bit ahead of myself coming to this section a little early. But you can kind of tell by this level design, there's multiple ways in places. A lot of different ways to attack things. That you're playing a stealth game. However, I think this game has a little bit of an identity crisis when it comes to that, but we'll talk about that a little bit more once we get there. See if we can sneak kill this guy. Well, if he's going to go that way, I'm going to disarm this. I kind of can't believe he didn't spot me just there. Now he's going to patrol into that room, and we're going to go get him. But I think these stealth areas are fun. I really like the first few chapters. I think the first few chapters are the strongest part of the game by far. Okay, we already came this way. And so this playthrough is going to be a little bit of a departure for the channel, because all the games that I've played thus far have been games that I absolutely love every single thing about. This one I have some pretty serious criticisms of. But I will say this, coming back to it, I meant what I said when the game comes together a lot more once you understand all the mechanics. I'm having a lot more fun playing it now than I did the very first time I played it, that is for sure. We're going to want to burn those guys because otherwise they will get up when we go to turn the crank here. We already have quite a few bullets. And the first thing we're going to want to do here is make a beeline to our left for this shed over here. And what I'm looking for is right here, map fragment number 3. And that is all the map fragments and keys in this chapter. So all that's left to do is finish it up. And in order to do that, we're going to want to go all the way back to our right, because this section has a lot of enemies in it. And let's see if we can go get a look at that. Yeah, right over here. Now, if you alert them, they send an absolute horde at you. So we're going to not do that. Instead, we're going to pop in here, find a little green gel, and then we're just going to quietly sneak past.
Good God. That's right. Just keep doing what you're doing.
But up ahead of us is the way out, and there's no way to not alert them on the way out of here. So what we're going to do is run for our lives.
Shit. Better get out of here.
Yep, here they come.
God damn it!
And that's the end of Chapter 2, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.